Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a Spain news update. We'll have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the Spanish press today, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Before I begin, a huge thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's through the super thanks option on YouTube, longer term supporters on Patreon, and the new channel members. Thank you very much for that support. Now, straight into the news. And it's a big day for Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez in the Parliament today because he has announced that Spain will recognise the Palestinian state on the 28th of May together with other European countries. The President of the government, Pedro Sánchez, announced on Wednesday that Spain will recognise the Palestinian state on the 28th of May together with other European countries such as Norway and Ireland, which have made the same announcement. Sánchez made the announcement at an extraordinary appearance in the Congress of Deputies to report, among other things, on the last European Council. The announcement has been followed by a long ovation. We must tell the Palestinians that we are with them, that there is hope, and that the land and identity of Palestine will continue to exist in our hearts, in international legality, and in the future of a Mediterranean in harmony, said Sánchez, who has delimited the territory of the Palestinian state in Gaza, West Bank, with East Jerusalem and its capital. So there we go, and as I said, a big announcement today by Prime Minister Sánchez that Spain is going to recognise the Palestinian state along with Ireland and Norway, and of course breaking from the official European Union stance on this matter. And some kind words there from the Spanish Prime Minister to the Palestinian people. Spain is with them and that there is hope for them. Now, the second piece of news today in the diplomatic spat between Spain and Argentina continues to make headlines, and Spanish companies are worried that their investment in Argentina could be affected by this dispute. As we can read here, Prosegur, Dia, Telefónica, Santander, BBVA, and up to 117 Spanish companies with 18 billion euros of investments at stake in Argentina. In the midst of the diplomatic conflict unleashed between the Argentine government and the executive of Pedro Sánchez, the numbers on the table are a clear reflection of how Argentina has the most to lose in the event of a hypothetical break in trade relations with Spain, although the impact it would have on national companies is not trivial. The big figures reflect how Spanish companies have active investments worth about 18 billion euros in the country governed by Javier Milei, according to the latest data collected by the ICEX in June 2023. It is the first European country by volume of investment flows and the second in the world, only surpassed by the United States with about 24 billion euros. So a lot of big Spanish companies, also big players in the Argentine market with close to 18 billion euros worth of investments. Security companies, supermarkets, telecommunications companies, and the big banks, all with investments in that country. Mr. Milei, as we know, was in Spain recently, stirring up trouble, but he was also talking to big Spanish companies, trying to get them to invest more money. But you never know what the retaliation will be from some countries when they get into these diplomatic rows. Spain, as we know, has recalled its ambassador down there in Argentina, and maybe Mr. Milei will threaten the investment of some of these companies. It could happen, but I don't think so. And the final piece of news we'll look at today, and it's a strange story about a job advert for cleaning staff in a hotel in Benidorm. And as we can read here, high level of cleanliness, multilingual, and resilience to setbacks, the requirements for cleaning a hotel in Benidorm. The requirements to work as a housekeeper in a new 4-star hotel in Benidorm have sparked outrage in the Kellys collective of the Alicante city and its tourist region of the Marina Baixa. Kelly is a neologism coined more than a decade ago and used by the workers to refer to themselves to those who clean in feminine, since the vast majority are women. In a job offer from the LN Group, a leading company in the multiple services sector, published on the InfoJobs portal and reproduced in others such as Convoy Jobs, 3 requirements were requested that have attracted the attention of the professionals: multilingual, Spanish and English mainly, other languages valued, excellent presentation, and high level of personal hygiene hygiene, and resilience in the face of setbacks. So quite demanding are the requirements to work in that new 4-star hotel down there in Benidorm. You have to be a clean person, speak a couple of languages, English and Spanish mainly, present yourself well, and show resilience in the face of setbacks. So if you meet those requirements and you'd like to work in a hotel down there in Benidorm, away you go. Just go to the InfoJobs website portal and apply, and good luck. Now let's have a look at some comments left on the channel recently. One here from Recipe Review. Pedro Sanchez should have laughed this off as a bigger person, but instead he made a mountain out of a molehill. Made it all about him. Poor boy. Yeah, Recipe Review, thanks for the comment, but let's be honest, it's not the first time that Pedro Sanchez has made it all about him. We've seen it on numerous occasions over the last 6 years or so, most recently when he stood down for 5 days or so because he wanted to reflect on his career in politics. And I will say that it does seem like he has made a mountain out of a molehill with this latest dispute with Argentina, but it's all about getting an advantage over your political rivals, and that's exactly what he's doing. Mr. Milei has a close relationship with the political party here in Spain called Vox. Vox also has a close relationship in some autonomous communities with the Partido Popular, and that is what Mr. Sanchez wants to highlight. And he's trying to use this situation, this dispute with Argentina, to his advantage. Because as we know, we have EU elections coming up early next month. And you can say what you want about Mr. Sanchez, but when it comes to electoral strategy, he seems to know what he's doing. One here from Joanne. Milei is a thug. He just raised the subway fare in Buenos Aires 360%. He and his goons are going to extract out all the wealth from Argentina and leave it drained of anything of value, as has been done before. Yeah, Joanne, thanks for the comment, and I have read that fares for the Buenos Aires Metro have increased 360%, as you mentioned there, over the last couple of weeks or so, part of the austerity measures brought in by Mr. Milei. So a huge increase in fare prices, no matter which way you look at it, for people that use that metro system down there in Buenos Aires. And will Mr. Milei and his goons, as you put it there, extract all of the remaining wealth out of the country of Argentina? I've got no idea, but as you also mentioned there, it wouldn't be the first time that this has happened, unfortunately, for the country and the people of Argentina. One here from Larry. It's called endive in English. Yeah, Larry, thanks for the comment and thanks for helping me out with that word. Endive. I couldn't remember it yesterday. I know the word in Spanish, endivia, and this word came up because we saw an endive on the plate on the backdrop photo during yesterday's live stream. Here's the picture in question from yesterday's live stream, and here's a picture of an endive. And you will see this leaf vegetable that belongs to the chicory family, I believe, in many salads here in Spain. I'm not a huge fan myself, but when you combine it with a nice tasty sauce, it's not that bad. One here from Mick. On far right, the woke liberal left think everyone to the right of them is far right these days. Also love Hancock's half hour. Yeah, Mick, thanks for the comment, and you're right, we do hear the term far right being thrown around quite a lot nowadays, more than we did in the past. And that's probably because there are more political parties around nowadays that sit at that end of the political spectrum. For example, here in Spain, the Vox political party has been around for about 10 years. Before that, it didn't exist. Most of the Vox members came out of the PP political party to form their own party, which was further to the right than the PP. They considered Partido Popular policies to be too bland on certain things, wanted a more hardline approach, and set up their own political party. And politics in Spain hasn't been the same since. There was also a hardline left-wing party set up around the same time, but it's almost done and dusted, and you know which party we're talking about, right? Podemos. But Vox continues, and today it is a real thorn in the side for the Partido Popular and Mr. Feijóo. One here from Walter. Please, can you explain something? We spent 3 weeks in Spain and enjoyed the culture, food, the people, and fell in love with Spain. It was a huge surprise to me that when leaving Spain, people can request the refund of the taxes they paid while in Spain. This is ridiculous. Why not use the taxes the tourists pay to better the situation for the people in Spain? This was mind-blowing to me, since since this is the first time I have seen something like this. People enjoy the country, the cheap food and drinks, and then get the tax back. The government of Spain needs to rethink this. Yeah, Walter, thanks for the comment, and you were right. People that visit Spain from outside the European Union do have the opportunity to get that tax back. The tax that they pay on things here in Spain, that VAT, sometimes it's 21%, and when you go to the airport on your way out of the country, you can reclaim that tax. But it's not only here in Spain, I think it's the whole of the EU that offers this tax back scheme. And I don't know whether the term I would use is ridiculous, but you could argue that a tourist in a country like Spain shouldn't have to pay VAT. And it might also encourage somebody to spend more if they know that they're going to get that 21% knocked off the price. However, when it comes to doing the forms to get this tax back, I have been told it's not the easiest process in the world to do, and I imagine that a lot of people that visit the EU don't even bother with it. So let me know your experience if you are from outside the European Union when it comes to getting this 21% VAT back. Is it easy or difficult? Let me know in the comment section below. One here from Drop Dude John. Crisis in Spain. When did this start? It's funny how the world gets shook up. Spain gave us grief over the Falklands all those years ago and seemingly supported Argentina. Now Argentina says the Falklands are legally British and Spain is corrupt. What a giggle. Yeah, Drop Dude, thanks for the comment, and your comment highlights just how quickly international relations and politics can change. During that conflict that you mentioned there, the Falklands War, Spain took the side of Argentina, not the UK, and now Spain and Argentina have their own dispute. I don't think it will get to the same level of tension that we saw back in 1982 between Argentina and the United Kingdom. This is more like a storm in a teacup, but you never know. And the final comment here from Chrissy, predictive text is a pain. It always changes my words. Have to be careful. Yeah, Chrissy, thanks for the comment, and you're right, you do have to be careful with predictive text nowadays. You can end up saying something that you didn't want to say. And another problem I find when writing messages on my phone is that my fingers seem to be too big for the keyboard, and I quite often hit the wrong key, which is a real pain in the behind. But before I send something off, I always check it, make sure that the spelling and the grammar is more or less correct, because at the end of the day, the idea is to have your message understood by the person that is reading it. And as I mentioned the other day, comments that are left on this channel sometimes are very, very difficult to understand because they're grammatically incorrect and full of spelling mistakes. So do us a favor, if you can, check your comment before you press send. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.